Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. It is the business end of the competition. Every single point is crucial, and now we've still got about a 10-horse race in Super Rugby Pacific. The Western Force, they are the last of the sides that could potentially make their way through the Fijian draw. They are playing the Waratahs tomorrow, so one of those two sides will be just outside of that top six. But this game here, the Chiefs sit in second. A bonus point win here would put them a lot closer to that number one spot, whereas for the Highlanders, this is do or die for their overall season. Not many games remaining. In fact, they've only got the one. So if they don't win this contest, their chances of making it through become that much more slim. Looking through at the starting lineups for these two sides, starting off with the Chiefs, it is Ollie Norris, Samasoni Taukiaho, and Sione Ahio as the number three. Naitoa Akoi alongside Tupavai in the locking duo. So Josh Lord not in the lineup for this contest, and also not making his way off of the bench. In the loose forward trio, it is Simon Parker alongside Luke Jacobson and Wallace Satiti will slot in as the number 8. Xavier Rowe and Josh Jacob again in that 9 and 10 combination, with Damien McKenzie moving to the 15 spot. Kieran Tomei-Falau out on the left wing, Lalakai Foketi and Kyle Brown in the midfield, with Liam Coombs-Fabling out on the other wing. Looking through at the Highlanders starting side, it is Ethan de Groot, Jack Taylor and Angus Ta'avao. Thomas Lavanini, the Argentine international, as the 4, with Mitchell Dunshay at 5. TK Howden, Lucas Casey, and also the informed Broughton slots in as their number 8. Adam Lennox and him and Cam Miller, they have been doing very nicely in that 9 and 10 channel for this Highlanders side. Jonah Lowe, the try-scoring machine, out on the left wing. He has scored 4 tries from his past 3 appearances. Timothy Tavanawai alongside Tenuelu Talia in the midfield. Caleb Tangitau out on the right, and Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkins at number 15. We have got there, Luke Jacobson wants to win it, says Kiana. I would assume so. I think that most of the Chiefs boys probably do want to get themselves the victory in this contest in front of the home crowd for this matchup. Says a bit broken and old. I bring back Cruds. Says the AI there. And Chiefs edge it. It's not, or if not, it's a 12 rounder, 13 plus. Says the AI underdog pick. So going with a comfortable win for the home side in this case. And a comfortable win here is what the Chiefs really do need to be able to have a chance of that home final. And we're getting closer to those stages. Any sort of points you drop now, you find yourself in a little bit of trouble. As a whole, we have got there a nice hair dye. Also, did you drink Lipton tea? Well, I didn't dye my hair, and I haven't drunk Lipton tea before. So I guess that's 0 from 2. We have got quick URC question. What do you think, or who do you think can win the URC? Do the Lions have a chance? They probably aren't sitting too bad at the moment, the Lions. They do need their win over Munster, though, this weekend, or else they can theoretically, I think, finish about 7th, 8th, or maybe even 9th, which is the last thing that they'd want, seeing as they've been very close the last couple of years. We have got Howdy Hamish, says MPT, welcome in. We are doing very well. And we have got there Damien McKenzie out injured. Not that I know of. I know that they mentioned the late change of Daniel Rona, by the sounds of it, no longer going to be making his way off of the bench. But McKenzie, I believe, is still all right. Going to be starting in that number 15 jersey, with Josh Jacob getting the opportunity from number 10. We will quickly go through, though, as we sit here. We'll go like, where is it? There we go. These are last round fixtures that we saw between the sides. Crusaders getting themselves a nice win in Christchurch over the Blues, winning that one 36 points to 20, receiving the bonus point for that contest. The Chiefs coming off the victory over the Reds, 31 points to 21. It's a significant win for this Chiefs side, definitely with it taking place in Queensland. Not a very easy location to go to, Suncorp, and get a victory, but the Chiefs managing to do it by the 10 points. The Highlanders, boy, do they make hard work of the final moments of their game up against the Waratahs, but they won it by 5 in the end, 31 points to 26. They were 31-12 up, I believe, in that contest, and it seemed like everything was plain sailing up until it wasn't, and all of a sudden it came to quite a kind of emphatic and close finish between the sides. The Hurricanes getting the good win over Moana, and the Brumbies beating the Western Force 32 points to the 15. We have got there, I put 2 bench warmers on the thumbnail. Exactly right. And you have picked up the theme of that thumbnail. It is the impact players off the bench in the number 9 jerseys. Falau Fakatava, Cortez Ratama, 2 men who are still trying to jockey for a spot in that All Blacks environment. Ratama has that advantage just for now. But I feel like those 2 men throughout the later stages of this game, they are going to have such significance on the contest, which is why they live front and centre on the thumbnail for the stream. We have got there, have you heard of the news of Azanati Klabakanye are getting banned for 18 months. Yeah, going to be missing that World Cup by the looks of it for the big Lions forward, which is a shame not just for the Lions, but also for the Box, because he has been quite an impact player throughout recent times. We have got there, let's go the Chiefs, says Jaden. And remember when we went to different schools together? Remember when we went to different schools together? No. I did also see that you said I was late, and that was a minute early, so I decided to start 30 seconds later just to rub it in. Dan Ratama on the bench. That is the impact that the Chiefs have been able to bring from their bench throughout this season. You know, you look at someone like an Isaac Hutchinson, a man who only recently got himself some opportunity for the Chiefs, and he's already proven to be quite an asset for the side. But we've got to also remember the Chiefs losing a few players next year, so you want to have that depth building, and I think that that's what we're going to see for the Chiefs in the near future. Summer Penny Finau off of the bench, George Dyer, Fiti Sa, all men who could bring quite the statement finish to this game for the Chiefs. And great thinking come on the Landers. Says Ken's there. And we have got there, it's the Landers, says they are underdog. And also they better get a try, please and thank you. Who do you want to get a try? Kian, I know that you had a few guys last week that you were hoping to get themselves the tries along the match. Let's go the Chiefs, says Young there. It is a dangerous back three in this contest for this Chiefs side. Liam Coons-Fabling, Kieran Tomoi-Falau, and Damian McKenzie as the 15. They are just talking about that late inclusion off the bench. That is Rian Paul, and that is replacing Daniel Rona, who is out late with the change. But looking through at the previous fixtures for these two sides, we're going to go a little bit deeper than just the most recent game. We're going to look at the most recent 5 for these two sides. First of all, for the Chiefs, they were able to beat the Waratahs. That was 42-14. They had a great run in that last little kind of patch early April, getting the win over Moana 62-17, beating the Hurricanes. That was a big one. The Cane side have not lost many games throughout this season, but the Chiefs were able to hand them one loss at FMG Stadium, beating the Fijian draw in the Super Round, then coming off that victory up against the Reds. So 4 out of the last 5 won by this Chiefs side. For the Highlanders, a slightly different story. And they were beaten by the Brumbies. They were beaten by the Blues. Both of those games by less than 7 points. They were beaten by the Fijian draw, but they have had the wins over Moana Pacifica and the Waratahs, so the two sides actually lower ranked than them. You could also include the Fijian draw in that department, although they are looking to climb their way. They are able to get the win over the Waratahs in their game tomorrow. But yeah, two very different positions for these two teams. We have got their morning mate, comes around quickly, doesn't it? Says Fleshin. Yeah, I can't believe we're at the weekend again. I can't believe we're less than a month away, or only a month and a half away from international rugby being back after it felt like about 7 months waiting. Good morning, Hamish. Hope you're well, sir. Welcome in, Carl. Hope you are also doing well. We're excited for the big old weekend of Super Rugby as well as the URC. There are some crucial games in that competition as well. Lima has a bet on Quinn Tupaia. If the Landers win, Quinn has to do an interview with Lima wearing a Landers jersey at full time, says Kens. Is anyone out this week? Daniel Rona. He is out late for the change there for the Chiefs. There are quite a few other guys on the injury list. Once again, they are getting longer and longer as the season progresses. But in terms of the, I guess, significant injuries for these two sides, looking through at the Chiefs, they have Imoni Narawa still out until the more than likely round 16 or the finals. Leroy Carter's out till the quarterfinals, which is going to be taking place in about 2 and a bit weeks' time. Quinn Tupaia is rested, so that's pretty handy, the fact that he is not injured in this case. Jaden Saar has got the shoulder injury. He's out for the season. Ateno Nanasatoro, he's out to the quarterfinals. There's a few boys in that backline, but the fact that they can still put together a backline like this is pretty handy. As Alfin Hurley, he's still going to be out for a few more weeks for the Highlanders, and they've got those season-ending injuries. Bartlett, Pledger, Holland, Tingblad, and Pasitoa all out for the rest of the year. Well, the rest of the season. They may be back later on for MPC and also for internationals. We have you there, must be freezing. Says Hobbit, I'm nervous for this evening. My Stormers need the win. I'm hoping Ulster beats Glasgow. Yeah, the fact that there are many sides that can still miss out on the top 8 position for URC. Although the good news for the Stormers is, I want to say they've got home field quarters. It's just whether or not they've got home field semi and final as well. That's the tricky part. But Nick Berry, he will be the referee in charge of this contest. Damian McKenzie looking cool, calm and collected. He will be kicking off this one from left to right. Home field advantage for this Chiefs side, coming in as big favourites for this matchup as well. Can they get back to the same points as the top of the table Hurricanes by the end of the 80 minutes? Yeah, unfortunately, TK Howden pulled out Late, I think. See, here's Jordan there. Also, a late change there for the Highlanders in that case. I haven't seen who will be in the 6th jersey instead. It was supposed to be Ben O'Keefe in charge. See, here's Jordan, but it is kicked off by Damien McKenzie. That's nicely taken by Mitchell Dunshay. Just inside of his own 22. The Highlanders are wearing the white with the blue trim. Chiefs wearing their classic home field kit. Kyle Brown better get a try, says Kian. And also Sean Withy at 6. Okay, so it's not too much of a hit, is it? Who's 20 for the Highlanders in that case? That ball's going to be kicked downfield and into touch by the Chiefs. By the Highlanders. Lennox. Man putting the boot to ball. He's an interesting story this year, Adam Lennox. Start of the season was looking like Falau Fakatava was going to get a majority of starting minutes for the side once Pledge's injury was talked about, but Lennox has kind of taken it off, and now Liam Coons-Fabling trying to go for the short shot there. It is a hit, so who's off the bench? They haven't told me the number 20 yet as to whether or not it will be a hit to the side. Now, Samasoni Talkiaho going away to the left-hand side. Low tackle made by the Argentine, Thomas Lavanini. We've got, don't you want to read my message? There are quite a few messages going past at the moment, Mohadeen, so if I missed it, I probably didn't mean to. We have to go back and find it now while the game is still going on. We have got there, did you hear about the 18-month ban? Yeah, we talked about it about 2 minutes before you showed up. So yes, we did hear. Not ideal. Going off to the left-hand side. Now wide cut-out pass there for Samasoni Talkiaho before he is tackled by Timothy Tavanawai. Xavier Rowe playing it quickly to the left-hand side. Numbers here for the Chiefs, but can't quite free it up. I think Lasunga and Hake, they're both already there. I feel like Sean Withy's one of those guys that about a season ago, he was in the All Blacks Bolter contention for the Highlanders. Hasn't had a huge amount of moments throughout this season, though. Normally goes well for the Stags. Now Damien McKenzie, short side, missed tackle from, I think that would have been Tenuelu Talia. Now left-hand side, all the Chiefs in terms of the possession stat. Angus Ta'aval makes the tackle. Rowe again, looking to the right-hand side. Short pass from Naitoa Akoi to Luke Jacobson. This building phase is 14 in a row here for this Chiefs side. The Highlanders looking for the steal there with Jonah Lowe, who just leaves his feet as he looked to steal it. Pop pass from Jacobson to Naitoa Akoi, returning the favour from the pass from only about 30 seconds ago. We got 6-2 split, says Jordan. They do, but we still don't know who the 20 is. We have got there, Damien, get a try. Says Kian, that one's going to be kicked in behind, close to the sideline. Cleaned up at the back from Cam Miller. And he'll put the ball into touch. Puppy is at the Springboks camp. He is indeed very large Springboks camp this time from Rassi. What's up, remember me? Abel, I think I do. Was it last year Super Rugby or earlier this season that you were here last, Abel? And finally, says the underdog. And I can't remember the 21, says Jordan. Okay, so we're still unsure of who the man is off the bench. We just know that TK's not there. Now ready to throw this one in for Samasoni Talkiaho. It's going to be nicely taken by Naitoa Akoi. Bounces it to Xavier Rowe, but he's done well to clean it up. It's actually come off the leg of Thomas Lavanini as he looks to grub her in behind. Jonah Lowe, big, wide. Cut out pass to Tangi Tau. Not normally known for his kicking game, but he hasn't done too badly there. Down to the 22. McKenzie back across. Oh, that was a big shot and a forward pass. Was rushing up there. I want to say that was Tenuelu Talia. He's decided to go with the haircut that's exactly the same as Caleb Tangitau. In terms of the dyeing of it and the shortness, normally that flowing mullet was nice and easy to pick up on. We have got the evening, Hamish and everyone, welcome in. And we have got there, watching from South Africa and his Chiefs fan, hope we can get the win. If they get the win, it gets very interesting in terms of those top three. Definitely if we do see an upset at Eden Park and the Blues beating the Hurricanes, then you've got three sides all jockeying for that number one spot, the lucky loser situation that you can find yourself in. For one of the sides, like you want to be as high up in the rankings as possible. We have there, we'll be covering the URC matches where South African teams are involved. We're going to be covering the Stormers versus Cardiff game tomorrow morning. That is taking place at 6:30 a.m. New Zealand time, but we will be up for that one. The only South African game we're missing is Sharks versus Zebra, I believe. I've been reading up Jonah Lowe. Their family are born to play rugby, says Mike. Oh, sorry, that was Mark, sorry. Now chipped in behind. It will just go into touch. As Caleb Tangitau not quite able to regather it. It was actually kicked out on the full, so we'll lose a few metres along the way as well. Will the Blues, or will you be doing Blues tomorrow? Yes, we will. Big match up, 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time. Barrett versus Barrett as well at Eden Park. Oh, I was here for Crusaders versus Blues last week. I think I've got you mixed up with a different Abel then. But welcome back. Only a week afterwards. Nice take from Simisoni Taukiaho. Luke Jacobson back into the pocket. Goes to Xavier Rowe. This one kicked down to the halfway line. Nice take from Caleb Tangitau. Had Kieran Tomi Falau chasing after him, but off to Jacob Rata Maitavuki Nepkins. Tackled on the halfway line. Lennox going away left. There are numbers there, but Lucas Casey decides to take the contact himself. Tackled low by Norris. Moving it on now, Miller goes to Tamothi Tava Nawai. When you want someone to beat a defender, you normally chuck the ball into that man's hands. 5.5 minutes into this game, the Highlanders getting some much-needed ball in hand and a penalty advantage on their side as well. Knocked on in the breakdown from Lennox, so they'll go back for the penalty again. Thanks so much. I'm interested in the Bulls and the Lions and the Stormers game. Should be interesting, says Colin. And we have I'm watching from China, says Albert. Well, there you What are you on holiday, or how'd you end up in China? I swear you were somewhere else only a couple weeks ago. Like as in back. You haven't always been in China, have you, Hobbit? We have there, Chiefs need a try. They wouldn't mind one. An early one to just kind of give the confidence a bit of a boost. These two sides have had some pretty handy battles throughout the last few years. Josh Jacobson. Josh Jacobson, get a try, please, and thank you. Is that Luke Jacobson or Josh Jacob? I assume it's a combination of both, right? And you think, well, when will the Chiefs come in as Kiwi favourites? If they play like they have been lately, I think they'll have a very decent chance. 4 of the last 5 they have been victorious in. Now Cam Miller. 6.5 minutes into this game. The Highlanders will have the early opportunity to add some points onto the board. So I'm about 38 out, and he has missed it away to the left-hand side. Not very characteristic of Cam Miller. He's got one of the higher percentages in the whole competition when it comes to the tee. How that miss? Yeah, I don't know if there's much wind that they're dealing with either, but like I said, uncharacteristic for a man who normally slots them over for fun. Landers key to success, simply Tangi Tau Fair, says Thuds Race. Luke Jacobson, get a try, please. And who do you think will win? I think the Chiefs will win. I think the Chiefs have a good chance to knock on early from the Highlanders. It's going to be a scrumpy now for the home side. So hasn't started on your score, says Brandon. Offside, says the AI underdog pick. Going to see it here. Just Simon Parker alongside, I think it was Sean Withy actually going up for that ball. Yes, it was. If Simon Parker gets a try, I'll be happy. And watch your score predictions. Says Ian's there. See, I want this game to be kind of close. Not for any reason other than I just like games that go down to the wire. I'm thinking like 36-24 though in favour of the Chiefs. Which would have to mean that we get a few tries in quick succession at some stage throughout this game, because that's quite a high scoring match. Maybe 26-12 is better than 36-22. But free kick goes the way of the Chiefs after the early push from Angus Ta'avao and the Highlanders front row. Going up for it was Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, tackled by Norris again. He's had a few that he's had to make early on in this game. Lennox goes short side, gets absolutely smashed. And the tackle by Simon Parker. Looks like he was not going lightly on Lennox. Now going off to the right-hand side, Damian McKenzie counter-attacking chance here for the Chiefs. Through the hands, here's Kyle Brown, big fend, but tackled by the two wingers. Tangitau and Lowe both linking up on the near side, but that would theoretically mean there's a bit of a gap out wide. Now Rowe going away to the left. Now Naitoa Koi couldn't quite get his offload away. Now Rowe cross to Satiti. About 15 metres out from the line now for the Chiefs. Rowe going right-hand side again to Jacobson, who brings it within 15. 30-17 in favour of the Chiefs is target individual New Zealand. I got there in the end. I just had to work out, or targeted individual, I think it actually is. I just had to work out where the word started and where it ended. It just had it as an at. And all one word now, Xavier Rowe. Off to the left-hand side. They are still 15 metres out here. The Chiefs nice quick hands, though, in the back line. Josh Jacob goes out to Liam Coombs-Babling. Tries to cut back through the tackle with Miller. It's good defence from the Highlanders, but they can't afford to just let it slip at any stage here. Jacobson. Tackled by Lavanini and Withy. Now Norris. Good flat attacking run from him before tackled by his opposite in the scrum. Oh, Tupavai. It's going to be a penalty against him now. He was tackled without the ball, but he was in front of the man with the ball. So it means that it's the accidental obstruction offside for Tupavai there. A bit of a mistake on attack from the Chiefs. Hamish, are you not liking me? Not that I know of, Mohadeen. Why? What have you done? Or well, I feel like, Mohadeen, you're not the only one who's getting messages missed in this case. The chat's going very quickly at the moment compared to how quickly it normally goes. And Chiefs by 11, Rona comeback. Here's Shane. And who do you like at 13 for the All Blacks, Hamish? Oh, see, this gets me in a little bit of trouble. This opinion, and that's the beauty of an opinion. We all have one. But I think I want to see Billy Proctor get a chance at 13 with someone else other than Jordie Barrett in the midfield with him before we completely chuck Proctor out of the equation. Because Whainaranuku at the moment is proving that he could be quite a handy player in a sort of hybrid role, playing multiple positions. So they might look to use him more so off the bench. But I think that Proctor, throughout all of the games, one of his best performances was when he was linking up with Quinn Tupaea in the midfield for the All Blacks. Every other time he's been there with Jordie Barrett. So I wouldn't mind seeing him get another crack. Uh-oh, that light went out again. We got a loose cable there. And it looks like the injury for Broughton here. So he has been replaced by Vivini Lasanga wearing the number 21 jersey for this contest. We are still waiting to find out who that number 20 is. We have got their Blues and the Canes tomorrow. And we're going to see some cards handed out. Do we? Now Lennox gets that one high. Also gets pushed over by Tupavai after clearing it. Drop ball from Liam Coombs-Fabling. Then dropped by Jack Taylor. They will go now for the scrum. And Whainaranuku 12 is tough. Says Shane. Yeah, it's all going to depend on where they stick Barrett. Because, you know, if you take Jordie Barrett back into that 15 type of role, then you've got the chance for Tupaea. You've got the chance for Timothy Tavanawai. In terms of 12s, you've got the centre opportunity for someone like a Whainaranuku. Even someone like a Jonah Lowe, to be fair, has been pretty handy throughout this season. But don't know where you throw him who's ball. It's a scrum feed for the Highlanders after the knock-on from the Chiefs. So we're just waiting for that one to take place. And come on, Josh Jacob, if you get a try, thanks. And Billy at 13, guys, get the pitchforks at Hamish, says Demon the 11th. They're going away to the left-hand side. Here's Timothy Tavanawai looping around, trying to bump off Kyle Brown. Does Leonard Brown end up in the All Blacks this year? I know that he's been out with his injury this season, hasn't he? Does Rennie look at his All Blacks experience and chuck him in? Although Rennie did say he's going off form. So probably not, unless he has good form in the NPC. Now love it. Any nice ball on the outside of Jacob Ratamotavuki Nepkins. He's got Jonah Lowe with him. Charging down the wing. He's just going to be dragged down short. And brilliant work from Xavier O to knock the boot into touch. Will now be the line out for the Chiefs. Damien stopped doing it, says Kian. Agree, would like to see more of Tupaea and Proctor, says Dunk. And also we will see Nick Berry referee his home country. Come the Rugby World Cup, says Clifford. Now, Taukiaho. Very important line-out throw here. Oh, I don't know if everyone was ready for that. It looked like Nick Berry was about to blow his whistle, but he decided, you know what? Nah, we'll just wait and see what happens. Poor defending from Jacob. And Anton Leonard-Brown cannot be close to the squad this year. You just never know, do you? I don't think many people are putting him in there. But, because when's he returning from his injury? He's been out for the whole season so far, hasn't he? How's Hamish? Have an awesome weekend to you, mate. Here's Anthony, same to you. And Damien stopped dropping the ball. The Chiefs rugby season are like me in bed. Start strong but finish weak, says Music Rocks. I think there's something for that, but the Chiefs, of course, aren't allowed to take any performance-enhancing substances. There's already been enough of that recently. Just look at the Georgian winger. But line-out throw here, that's going to go over the top. And that's slapped back by Tupavai. Geordie is the reason why Hamish picked Billy Proctor at 13, says Demon the 11th. Now, back across to the right-hand side, Xavier Rowe goes to Samasoni Taukiaho. This looks like they're just going to go for the kick downfield. Told to use it. Xavier Rowe, another man who is going overseas. the end of the Super Rugby season. There's a lot of them as well. Now, it's slapped back by the Chiefs. They're doing nicely in the air, although that's a very awkward bouncing ball. Looked like it was offside from Adam Lennox. It looked like it may have come off the hands of Thomas Lavanini, but for now the referee does say play on, so the Highlanders now have themselves the attack, passing on the outside to the moth there. Tava Nawai gets round Kieran Tomoi Falau. Just managed to hang on to the ankle. It does complete the tackle now. Ethan de Groot coming back towards the post. Short ball from Lucas Casey. You think Stormers have a good team? I think they've got a pretty handy team on paper, yes. There's a reason they are sitting as high as they are on the overall table. Nice offload from Caleb Tangi Tau. Oh no, ball on the inside. It was a mistake from Jacob Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins. They will have to go back for that initial penalty advantage. It is straight out in front of the post for the Highlanders. I don't think it's a bad choice to maybe go for the 3 this time. Unless they want to go very aggressive. I love Billy Proctor. He's always busy. Says Shane. I can't disagree. Thuds was a bench starter. He's never made any impact. Keep him there, says the underdog. And only I thought it wasn't straight, says Clifford. I assume that's for the line out, right? Timothea Tava luring in defenders. The near side of the field. It was just a miscommunication there for Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins. I think it was Tenuelu Talea who initially called for it when he was on his right, but then continued running onto his left. So slightly set up his teammate for failure there. They've decided a scrum here for the Highlanders. Smart Man will put money on Jacobson getting a yellow card. I don't think they let you do that on the betting ones. They let you pick if anyone in the game is going to get a red card, but not specific yellows. That's probably easy to match fix, to be fair. Yep, it's going to be collapsing in the scrum, so we will get a reset. The Highlanders will choke. And that second half is, I guess, your own business. We have it there, you can do it. Says Tyrone. You can do it. Who are we talking about? Oh, Chiefs need a try. There we go. I was wondering who was the one needing to do it, but the Chiefs would have to go a full about 80 metres or so. Just have to survive this early attack from the Highlanders, who again will be trying to keep this game as close as possible, take it down to the wire. They've had some good games up against New Zealand sides. We saw their matchup up against the Blues, only separated by 7 points with a total of 87 scored in that game. But Lennox, it's the ball in for the Highlanders. Lucas Casey is packing down on the back of the scrum now due to the change of Broughton. Tackle made by Tupavai. Back across to the right, Lennox goes to Lavanini. There was almost a bit of space opening up there, but again, Norris is the man who makes the important tackle. Knock on from Tava Nawai. They'll go back for the penalty again. That is going to be for, I believe, tight head collapsing. Yep, Ethan de Groot managing to win his last scrum. Scrum penalties won the most of any side in this competition. 30 for the Highlanders, an extra 13 on top of anyone else. Some lower grade pro footballers match fixed yellow cards a few years ago, all got convicted. Yeah, so that's probably why they've avoided doing that sort of thing again. There was a patch in Super Rugby and International Rugby as well where getting a red card was only paying about, I want to say like $6. Now it's up to 10. It's not as common this year, but there was a patch where every other game we had a red. So it's good that we're out of that patch, although we've had a few suspended players in recent times. Need to put the ball in. Adam Lennox. And that one's gone down again. We're going to get another reset. And later scrum looking more dominant, says Nutter Boy. And Highlanders playing well so far, says John. They are. They just need to turn it into points. Or else you end up in that scenario, you get a bit of dominance, you get some good territory, but if you don't put points on the board, then the Chiefs go a counter-attack, score themselves 7. That really hurts the confidence of an underdog like the Landers. But they have proven time and time again that they quite enjoy that kind of reputation as an underdog, and it has caused some quite good victories for them in the past. And Landers have got a great scrum, heaviest, front row, locks all big fellas. It would be close to the biggest, I'd say. The crowd already, they're bringing out Sweet Caroline. We're only 18 minutes into the game. Normally they save that for about 60 or so minutes in when they start trying to fire the crowd up that little bit more, but there is the penalty advantage again. Ethan de Groot. No, it's Lucas Casey, who will be just over the line with the rolling motion to finish it off, and the Highlanders has struck first at FMG Stadium. That's a big try too. Casey was initially packing down on the side of the scrum, but due to that broad injury, there was a bit of a transfer. And he has just run off the back with a vengeance here after the penalty advantage. A massive gap and a half cell of the dummy getting through Jacob. Managing to finish it off with a brilliant try. A good, solid carry from Lucas Casey. Good goal, says the AO underdog. And I was like, whoop, says Jordan. It's closer than I expected, but still think it will be 80 minutes of rugby, followed by 40 minutes of Highlanders fans explaining why it was character building, says Mark. And the good call. I had a drink bottle that I filled up. I don't think I brought it over with me, which means it's sitting over there. I will get that at halftime. Good call. And also Port Norris, because he isn't getting any help, says Jordan. And up the Chiefs, says Hobbit. The kick has gone over as well for the Highlanders, so that is now going to make the score 7-0 in favour of the underdog. The big celebration from Casey too. He was happy with it. 20 minutes through this game. They are leading this match 7 points ahead here, the Landers. Kicked off short by the Chiefs. Chasing after it was Liam Coombs-Fabling, but couldn't quite get as high as Dunshay, who was getting lifted up. Manages to claim it nicely. Great stuff. Any Casey? Anyway, Casey has a stack of promise. Was great in the NPC. Quieter in Super Rugby. He did start off Super Rugby with a bit of a hiss and a roar, but then he got taken out of the starting side. I remember, I think it was start of the season for Super Rugby, there was something about how he wasn't even on a full-time contract. But then he had a couple great games, and I believe he got it upgraded to being a part of the squad that's going over the head of Kyle Brown out wide. And I from Perth Hamish, hoping the Landers can give the Chiefs a good game today. As I'd hope this try a good start. Go get him, says Paul. And also, let's go, great start, says Nathan there too. Oh no, this is an injury here for Jonah Lowe by the looks of it. They've had a fair few injuries throughout not just this matchup, the Highlanders, but their season in general, although they no longer have the longest list of injured players. There are a few who are struggling a bit more. I think the Blues have the most injuries at the moment, followed by the Canes, but now backline movement out to Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, tackled by Liam Coombs-Fabling and almost driven into touch for Vinny Lasanga with the spin. Oh, they've done well. Keep them in the field of play there, the Highlanders, who will continue the attack. The ball is loose, picked up by Dunshay. Now back across to Timothy Tavanawai, 25 out from the line. Toa Koi manages to handle him, but a lot more ball for the Highlanders here as of the last about 10 minutes or so. Big shot on Miller by Tavanawai. Oh, in fact, it was Taukiaho. Now gets into that breakdown as well, loses the footing. Lasanga covered some ground there. See how starts race. He's quick off the mark for Vinny Lasanga. I do think that the Highlanders, they will probably use him a little bit more in the near seasons, as long as he doesn't go anywhere else. That's the slight problem. With so many signings, that's a good bit of pace shown there from Jack Taylor. Looks for the offload to Lennox. And it's just a jump through the tackle of Wallace Satiti. Now across to the left-hand side, Casey moves it on to Tenuelu Talia. Brown does go low. Still on the side. Oh, a kick in the face for Vivini Lasanga. Looks like he's got a bit of a chin on him as well from the way that he took that shot. Now Lennox across to Casey, the lone try scorer in this contest as the Highlanders. And now move up to 11 phases. Yo says Tanner too. Welcome in. You are doing well, Tanner. Now still moving that little bit closer. So about 15 out, Ethan de Groot. Oh, that was a bit high from Samasoni Taukiaho. Looks like it's going to be play on just for now. Lennox goes away to the left-hand side to Ta'aval. Two-man tackle on him. Chiefs, they don't make a huge amount of defensive errors throughout the 80 minutes, which is why you got to make the most of the opportunities when they do come around. And for now, the Highlanders just looking to get that penalty advantage in their favour. Timothy Tavanawai. I think it is opposite number. Lalakai Fageti, but straight on the ball. Tupavai manages to win the ball for the Chiefs after 15 phases. Can't wait for Henry Pollock to rip it up in South Africa, says Nathan. And we have the Chiefs better be good in the second half. And might back the Landers for this one. Waikato looking undermanned. And we have there, are you working today? No. Luckily, it is 7:30 on a Friday night. We've got a nice rugby-based weekend coming up. It's a good backline movement from the Highlanders, though. The only thing that slightly hurt them for a start was how much on the diagonal they were going. Just near that inside pass somewhere along the line. We have you there, hopefully. And if I'm watching you, and Chiefs got that, that Chiefs D got organised there. A line-out throw here for Samasoni Taukiaho. Nicely taken. Tupavai away to Xavier Rowe. Oh, big shot on Lalakai Foketi by Lucas Casey. Anytime he scores early, Casey, you see him for the rest of the game. He seems to really thrive off success, or at least thrive off the big moments for himself. Now, quick hands from Jacob, goes on the outside to McKenzie. Now, Kieran Tomai Falau, tackled by Lennox. Quite good pace shown by both of these sides defensively. They're not leaving that wide channel open. Nice tackle again. Now, short ball to Simon Parker. Now, there is another advantage in favour of the Chiefs side. Tupavai moves up to 22 out. Picking goes Xavier Rowe. Last minute tackle from Ta'aval. That certainly closed the try-scoring chance. Still got that penalty advantage. Rowe cross to Norris. Now, Wallace Satiti. And from the 8 jersey in this contest. Bit of a counter-ruck from Withy. Now, Naitoa Koi. Moving to only 10 metres out from the line now with the Chiefs. Taukiaho, he always gets you 1 or 2 post-contact metres. Rowe pops the ball up to Norris. And this is the Highlanders' turn to try and keep their defence well set, but Satiti receives the inside pass, and they're through now, the Chiefs. And they'll get there first of the game. Listen to you from work in London. Just found you. Great commentary, brother. Go the Chiefs, says David. So hopefully work. Oh, no, it'll be early morning in London, wouldn't it? Only about maybe 8:30 or 7:30. So hopefully you haven't got too long remaining in your working day. But Satiti done some good work next to the breakdown, finding that pass from, there was some good handling as well from Josh Jacob. He got absolutely smashed, but still managed to get the ball away initially to Damian McKenzie. But it was the hands of Akoi. Saw that inside gap opening up. It was only the group to try and get past, to take a few steps initially first. My daughter says, girls, I can play rugby too, legend. Says, Ruby, they certainly can. We saw that last Women's World Cup be a huge success. There's also the last round of the Women's Six Nations coming up this weekend as well. Scary try. Landon just couldn't slow him down, says Studs Race. And back gain line on the muscle. Oh, sorry, on a miracle. That shouldn't have been a penalty. He was rolling away. He was trying his best, says Jordan. He was, although it didn't really change too much because it was only a couple phases later and they did score. They did already have the initial penalty advantage too, so they probably would have just gone back for that anyway. But 27 minutes in and it's 7 apiece for these two sides. Still plenty of time remaining. Finally, it's hot as where I am, says Hobbit. What kind of degrees Celsius are you looking at? At the moment, Hobbit. We're sitting here a nice 9 degrees here. Good morning, Caramel Magnum lovers. Says Xander, welcome in, Xander. One's going to be kicked downfield from Xavier Rowe. Let's go close to the touchline, but a good take from Ratamaitavuki Nipkins again under the high ball. Solid so far throughout this match. Onto the halfway line, Miller. Cross to Ta'aval. Short ball to Dunshay. Just trying to think. With the exception of that Tupavai penalty for not releasing, how many other turnovers have we had in this match? I don't think we've had a huge amount in the breakdowns, have we? It seems like both sides are actually doing very nicely defensively, but also protecting the ball very nicely too. Do you know Fire Ant? No. Is that like a cartoon or something? I'm going away to the left-hand side. Xavier Rowe moves it on to Liam Coombs-Fabling. Now, midfield Brown. Offload on the inside to Taukiaho. Goodbye, Vaveni Lasanga. Hey, Chiefs, I'm so proud. And Chiefs 20 plus, I don't know. I think that, although this is a gap that opened up now. Oops, I kicked something. But I think this is going to probably be at least a penalty here. Playing the man off the ball, and it looks like reaching for the pocket. A yellow card on the way for the Highlanders here. That is the last thing that they needed. We saw a similar penalty a couple weeks ago, and it is Thomas Lavanini. That man's normally known for his yellow cards, but not for something like that. But he played the man off the ball, and because of it, does result in that yellow card. There is some switch which kills mosquitoes. Oh, so it's like a bug killer thing? The thing about Hamish, your normal weekend is always a long weekend. Oh, that one's just gone into touch for the Chiefs, 5 metres out from the line. I got my wish, says Clifford. You did wish for a card, didn't you? You didn't have to wait a huge amount of time. Are you doing the Sharks match tomorrow? No, I think that's the only game I'm not going to be doing of the South African URC sides. And yellow card magnet. See, it Studs race. Now, Samasoni Taukiaho. Looking to make the most of this advantage. And the Highlanders got a yellow card here, Tyrone. They certainly did. No Thomas Lavanini for the next 9 minutes. And straight away, the Chiefs looking to strike here. Being told to use it once. Taukiaho still hanging on to it at the back. It doesn't seem like it's going forward anymore. So they're going to go away to the right-hand side. It's going to be the penalty advantage again against the Highlanders. Their discipline just letting them down a little bit here. Satiti. Just seen tries from loose forwards at the stage of the contest. Tupavai almost had Favini Lasunga on him to take that ball away. Jacob needs to make the right choice here. He cuts in. Trying to step towards that try line. Row across the Naito Akoi. And he is close. He is down and he is over to score another try for the Chiefs. He looks like he's hurt himself in the process. He's very slow getting up. It also looked like he was close to knocking it on. They may just check that one. Lavanini, is it? See, yeah, it was him. But now, the first of the season for Naito Akoi. We're going to see the replay here. He might have slammed that down before any sort of ball getting... Oh, tell you what, she's not a certain try there for the Chiefs. That one looks like it was bobbling all over the place. Oh, no, just there initially there was a grounding and then that ball went all over the place. We have there as its semi-final stage this weekend for the Euro Championship? No. So we already know what's happening in terms of the Champions and Challenge Cup finals. They are taking place next week. Now, what is Jacobson doing? See, Studs race. And Dan, welcome to New Zealand, Lavanini. No try, says Nutter Boy. Damien McKenzie, he is only 4 points away from catching up with Mornay Stain for the most points in Super Rugby. Well, that would be third most in the overall standings. Knock them off, Chief, says the real Ando. And the kick from McKenzie has gone over as they know URC next week. Correct, yeah. So URC this weekend, that is the final round of the group stages or the regular season. And then we've got the Champions and Challenge Cup finals next week. And then the week after that, it's going to be the Super Rugby playoffs as well as... Oh, no, sorry. One more week after that, Super Rugby playoffs. But the 2 weeks' time, URC playoffs. Yeah, that ball didn't seem like it was completely safe there for Naito Akoi, but he first initially got the grounding and then it went all wobbly. The try does stand 14-7. Yellow card. Turning this game around for the Chiefs, who are starting to really build some nice momentum now. Take from the try scorer, Naito Akoi, just on his 22. It's already 32 minutes through this game. I don't know what it is about Friday night rugby, but I don't know if this is just me either, but do they seem to just go much quicker? The game's taking place on a Friday night. Like, this one shouldn't already be almost half over, yet it is. And second half, Cracker calling it for Jamie and Renz. The penalty one in the breakdown. This time it is. By the looks of it, it's Ollie Norris who pops up with the ball in hand. Sometimes all of us want to watch a 438 cricket match between South Africa and Australia just to recalibrate. And Jacobson's still downloading. Hasn't played far, says Shane. Now Damien McKenzie kicks this one into touch. So another 5.5 minutes remaining of the yellow card. Have a gambling problem, says Hobbit. Is that how you ended up in China? Or how'd you end up in China, out of curiosity? Because I feel like that's quite an out there, I guess, just for a holiday maybe, or work. And Damien gets a try, says Kian. A line-up throw here for Samasoni Taukiaho. Nice take, one-handed from Tupavai. Into Lalakai for Ketty. And Norris second choice, Lou said, after the group. And that's a knock-on there from the Chiefs. Dunshea goes back into the pocket to Caleb Tangitau. That one's going to be kicked down the middle with a field advantage over. Chiefs having to scramble back. Jacob got all the time in the world. Goes across to McKenzie. We'll kick this one towards the sideline and gets it into Highlanders half. We have got the are you losing or winning, says the AI underdog pick. Yeah, I guess they're probably both problems, but depending on which way you're going. Line out here for Jack Taylor. 4.5 left of the yellow card. That's going to feel like a long time too for the Highlanders. Not the straightest line out, but straight enough, says Nick Berry. Cam Miller goes across to Vavini Lasanga. Now Lennox. And Jacob Ament says, Shane there, kicked him behind. Now McKenzie will go for a kick back downfield, looking for the 50-22. But Miller is back. That one has been put into touch. Highlanders need to run with it. Not sure if it's the accent or the passion, Hamish. But I don't mind your voice on the radio, says Ruby. That would feel weird, wouldn't it, being on the radio? Because like on YouTube, I can go back and listen to what was said. Whereas on the radio, can you do that? Or is it'll all be live, wouldn't it? So whatever happens, happens, and you just have to, I guess, deal with the consequences after. Hello from FMG, says Jasmine. Hope you're doing well. Is it warm and is it windy? Those are the two questions that I have about the weather. FMG Stadium, get the other try, Jacobson. Now going away to the right. That looked forward from Simon Parker, straight in front of the ref, so must have been all right, you'd have to say. Now Xavier Rowe kicking it in behind. He might have got a bit too much juice on this one, although a steep bounce means that it pulls up 5 metres out from the Highlanders line, and Jacob Ratamatabuki Nepkins kicks it back downfield, taken by Jacob round the halfway line. Damien McKenzie did have a couple men on his outside, but he goes up the middle. McKenzie, he's created a massive gap. He goes to Rowe, who gets tackled in brilliant fashion by Adam Lennox, who drags him 1 metre short of the try line. That is a try-saving tackle and a half. Vai was on the other side of McKenzie. Perhaps that was the option that he should have gone with. But for now, they are still close to scoring here. The Chiefs. Samasoni Taukiaho is over the line for another try for him. Rose stop kicking it away, says Nada Boy, although they've got the try this time. I work in holiday. I took the wife as well. Says, oh, well, hopefully you're enjoying it. Over there, other than the heat that you mentioned before, but the 9th try for Samasoni Taukiaho of the season. I don't know where Lennox has come from here, but in the wide view picture, he's nowhere to be seen for a very long time. He was defending out on the wing, cut right back in to be able to stop Xavier Rowe just 1 metre short. But eventually, when you got a player like Samasoni Taukiaho and you throw him at the line, he's probably going to go the metre that you require. It was well defended initially from the Highlanders, but the gap that McKenzie ran through was definitely a big one. Smile on the face of Nick Berry at the moment, having a check to Damien McKenzie. Box kicking is the most effective tactic available, says Ander. And add D-Mac past the Devine, it's a try, yeah. I think he just went forward, back, I'll go to the back. But the problem that the back had was he had another back in the halfback, Adam Lennox charging across. Because from the wide angle, they were close to the line initially, being able to score it. And this has been a costly yellow, hugely costly at this stage of the contest. 9 minutes of this yellow card, 14 points have been scored during it. And we've got to remember, 21 unanswered points now from the Chiefs, as the Highlanders were the first team to score. A row is the brown bit, you get in the fish, says Jason. And also over there, this is just a costly, this has been a costly yellow. And Highlanders have started kicking game over, unfortunately, says Jordan. Well, this one's going to be kicked downfield from Xavier Rowe. Does go into touch. Will be the line out here for the Highlanders. 40 seconds still remaining of that yellow card of Thomas Lavanini. As soon as he returns, they're going to need a big impact from him to be able to turn this game around here. Try before halftime would certainly do just that by the Highlanders, says Tyron. And also, we need to mention, the Highlanders, they need at least 1 point from this contest just to feel that little bit safer. We look through at the moment, they are on 24. If they were to get themselves a bonus point from this game, they're only 2 behind the Reds, but the Reds are playing the Western Force tomorrow night. And if the Reds win that, the Highlanders cannot catch them. So it is really a must-win game here for the Highlanders. But even with that win, it wouldn't be a guarantee that they are going through. The Reds have got the game in hand over them as well. Highlanders just the one more match. That is going to be up against, I believe, they played the Hurricanes as their last game, which is not exactly a fun one to go into with the form that the Canes have currently. But it's going to be interesting. You're right, H. Vai did have a 1-on-1 too. Says, yeah, underdog. And out of the 10, how effective do you rate box kicking? Depends on who's doing it. Because there's a difference between a box kick and a good box kick. And I think sometimes people just do box kicks for the sake of doing them rather than actually looking to set them up. Oh, good tackle made by Liam Coombs-Fabling, driving Ratamaitavuki Nepkins into touch. We have got that Tafatanawa is still All Blacks all day, says Shane. But yeah, with Vai's 1-on-1, I still think Vai would have got there, wouldn't he? He got big legs, he'd just drive them. I think he would have had a bit of a better shot of finishing it, but they scored it anyway. And as all the Chiefs will be after 1 minute remaining here. And Lavanini is back out there on the field. I think the Chiefs, they'll be happy enough just to wait the 40 or so seconds and then boot this ball into touch. But by the looks of it, the Highlanders are going to be able to clean this one up and drive Simasoni Taukiaho into touch. Will be last attacking chance of the half for the Highlanders. And Naito Akoi scored the try, says Naraboy. He did indeed. So far, we've seen him, Taukiaho, and Satiti for the Chiefs. And then for the Highlanders, Casey. So no backs have scored in this game as of yet. Would have fended. Yeah, he's got a pretty handy fend, doesn't he, Tupovai? Because, yeah, the ball got transferred, what was it, 10 metres from the line or something. That's like 2 steps for Vai, big tall man that he is. Now running forward, Vavini Lasanga. Tackled by Jacob. Yeah, just hitting the halftime siren now. Casey. Tackled by his opposite number, Jacobson. Looking for the turnover and the breakdown. Satiti. Just didn't give him a chance to place that ball. Come on, the Chiefs, says Brayton. And box kick went in the opposition half is never a good look, says Studs Race. And I want Vai 6 still on the pitch, but your dream. And it's a knock on from the Highlanders. And that is now going to become a halftime siren and a halftime whistle from Nick Berry as well. But at FMG Stadium, I should say, 19-21 points to 7. We got there in the end. Now, what I'm going to very quickly do, ladies and gentlemen, I have a drink bottle that's sitting about, I'd say, less than 5 metres away from myself. That I very sillily, that's not a word, didn't put there. So I'm going to sneak off. I'm still here. You'll still be able to hear me as well. But I am going to grab said drink bottle. And then I'm going to come back. Here we go. Got it now? We need to laugh while Hamish has a sneeze. I haven't actually sneezed yet on this one, surprisingly. Landers' first 20 was promising. Yeah, they did all right early, didn't they? They scored that try. But there was just a half shift in momentum around that 20-minute mark that just seemed like it slightly went downhill. NRL at 8 p.m. A-League at 9:35 p.m. tonight. Who's playing in the A-League tonight? They must be quite close to their... Is it semi-final second leg now in the A-League? Were there any players who would have impressed Wrens? From this game so far, who would you go with? I think that Satiti's been busy, which is good. Taukiaho, I don't see any way other than injury that man doesn't get selected in the All Black squad. For the Highlanders, I'd say Tavanawai's had a solid enough game. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, to his credits, had a solid-ish game from the back too. Lucas Casey, potential bolter maybe, depending on what type of 7 or what type of loose forwards they are looking for. I'm so proud, says Kian. Half or 2 quarters, that says Dunk. Not even one sneeze. It's a personal best. The yellow card has had a thumping impact on the game, says Mark. Yeah, I can't remember which game it was. Someone might be able to help me out here. Which game was it a couple weeks ago that we saw a yellow card for the exact same thing? When the player was about to break the line and got dragged down early or held back in the tackle. I can't remember which match, but it did happen quite recently. And Thomas Lavanini, unfortunately for the Highlanders, did get himself one. The other thing, Koi, Let's put a case forward. Yeah, he's had a solid old game too, Naito Akoi. Chiefs are pretty spoiled for locks at the moment. They've got Akoi, they've got Tupovai, Josh Lord not even playing in this game. Fiti Sa, one of those guys who a lot of people think in a few years' time could definitely be in contention too. And keep them outside the 22. Ratama is still on the bench. Will be night-night. Is that your blue supporter drink bottle? Says Jason. I mean, is Kiwi Blue from Auckland? Consumer Information New Zealand. It's a proud product of the Coca-Cola company. Where are they based out of, old Kiwi Blue? Product of New Zealand. I don't know where they are in the country though, but I guess it's just New Zealand water, isn't it? And all let's go big. Show them we best. It's like we invented it. Says Shane. And also, I'm so proud, says Keanu. I assume that's because of the tries that we're seeing from the Chiefs so far. I will also mention we are very close to the end of the season. So these are the remaining fixtures for these two sides of the regular season. Of course, there are still playoff games in the future for the Chiefs. No matter what happens throughout their last two games, they cannot lose that spot to play in the playoffs. But Crusaders versus Chiefs, that game is taking place next week, 7 days' time. I am actually going to be in the stadium for that contest, so get to keep a very close eye what's happening for that game. And then from there, it will be Chiefs versus Blues the week after. That one taking place as the 7:05 p.m. kickoff on the Saturday. The Hurricanes versus Highlanders. That is the lone game remaining for the Highlanders. That is going to be played next week. The slightly unfortunate thing for the Highlanders is they are the side that have the bye in the final round, which means they have to sit and hope. If they get the win here or they get the win up against the Hurricanes, they just have to sit patiently, see whether or not the week after they do get that playoff spot. But I think realistically, I would almost say if they don't win either of these games, of course, they're gone. If they win one of these games, I also kind of feel like they're gone unless they get bonus points, or at least one bonus point from it. Let's just say, for instance, they get a bonus point for being within 7 in this game. I'd still give them half a chance, but they probably need a massive upset win next week up against the Hurricanes. There as well, we have got their Tars or draw tomorrow. I think the drawer have got them. They've had a very good home record, and I do think that the Fijian drawer are now in a position where they're close enough to the playoffs to know that they've got a fair old chance of making it. So one big win over the Tars puts them right in contention again. So, yeah, I think the drawer should do it. Now we have there Atakaha. Come on, you Waikato. Choke 2025. Says stud rate. It is at the... Oh, sorry, that was the AI. But yeah, it is at the new stadium, that one. I think we need Fiti Sa in the squad now. It's not ideal, but Patrick Tuipilotu gets injured. And we need him to cover Tuipilotu, says 10-2. Watching from Kenya. Tokiaho and Satiti down. Left with Tomai Falau and Tangi Tau on my try-scoring picks, says Josisi. Is that for your, it wouldn't be your fantasy, would it? It would actually be, I assume that's like a multi that you've got, right? So hopefully it goes well. You got a couple guys out on the wing. Doing relatively well. Few carries for both men. We're back Sir Graham Henry, New Zealand return. Says Hobbit there. You are very important to so many rugby fans. Remember that, just saying. I will tell you why. Because it's sometimes easier to listen to a match than to watch it, says Ruby. And so happy for the Chiefs got 21, says Tyrone. Yeah, they got off to a great kind of, I'd say 20 to 30 minutes, and that yellow card was when this game changed completely. I think the draw will do it easy, says Jordan. Can you turn on 2 times speed, says Pro Plebe? I think you can. If you go back a few minutes and then click 2 times speed, then you'll be able to. But I don't think you can turn a live stream on to 2 times speed when the thing that you're trying to speed up hasn't happened yet. Could be wrong. Up the Tars, says Hobbit. Is it not too cold in New Zealand to go watch games live? Probably, but it's an indoor stadium. So, it's probably going to be about 8 degrees Celsius. But that's all right. That's what you have the hot chips and whatnot for. They are throwing rugby balls off the roof, says Jasmine. And Christchurch has a roof, says Jordan. Also without Fabian, the Viking, we never stood a chance, says Shane. Yeah, losing Holland and Pledger right from the start of the season definitely did hurt this Highlanders side. And to be fair, after their big win over the Crusaders in round number 1, it seemed like they were going on the right track. But they had a couple hiccups along the way. FMG is not indoor, says Jasmine. That is true. I don't think anyone said that it was. We do the same stuff every game, says Highlanders fans, and we won't win this game. Hamish in 2 times speed. Will that not be hamster mode? Says Ruth. Oh, sorry, says Ruby. I'm messing up a lot of people's names today. I've kind of forgotten how to read. Hot chips and freezing cold slushy. That's the combo, isn't it? You have the slushy first so that you almost get hypothermia, and then you have the chips to warm you up. The dream duo. We have the Luke Jacobson get a try in second half, please, and thank you. Says Kian. And we have you there, try 0.25 speed, everyone. And we have you there, don't code it Hamish. Or sorry, don't sugarcoat it Hamish. Highlanders are already looking at a 9th place finish guaranteed, which is better than people thought they'd do in some regards. So it's not all doom and gloom. That man's bought every bit of Highlanders merch under the sun by the looks of it in the background. They are in control at the moment. This Chiefs side, they are up by 14 points. We have you there. He's one of my favourite players for Luke Jacobson, and the Highlanders are actually building a very solid squad. Angus Ta'avao, Ethan de Groot, Fabian Holland, Thomas Lavanini, Shannon Brazil, Tavatava Nawai, Caleb Tangitao, etc. CS Tanner too. Yeah, and Josh Shakem going to be joining them for next season. There were rumours that I did hear that Cam Miller may be heading north. Not north as in the northern hemisphere, but maybe the Blues might be looking at Cam Miller for a potential signing in the near future, which would be quite an interesting one. I think the Highlanders will definitely want to hang on to him, but at the same time, they have got Jacob going. As to be asked if the Landers roster or the coaching, says Hartley. I think that, it's very easy to just go, oh, a team's going bad, must be the coach's fault. And as rugby supporters, I think that sometimes we can get a little bit too harsh on the coaches. I think we can get too harsh on the players as well, to be fair. I think that, the rugby online side of things is pretty rough. But, at the end of the day, the tactics side of things you can probably blame more on the coaches and the tacticians. But, dropping the ball every 5 seconds is definitely a player thing. And that happens quite a bit for some of these sides, unfortunately. Lavanini is the worst thing we ever did, says Highlanders fan. I don't know about the worst thing that they've ever done, the Highlanders. We have you there, I think the Chiefs by 30 plus. I called it from the start. Do you think the Chiefs will be getting the new coach of the Highlanders? Says Kian. I don't actually know where everyone's going in terms of coaching-wise. I think that from what I think both of them are staying, aren't they? Satisi, Tokia and Rowe with the game changes last week. Then when they played in Brisbane, says Dale State, morning Hamish, from a Cantab in York, England. Although I am a Sater, I wish on the land as well today, says Andy Scott there. Yeah, they will need something big. We jinxed it. I almost made it through a live stream without a sneeze. We're still at halftime. That might be the only one of today, hopefully. But yeah, they will need a big second half. And potentially a slight change in how they play here as well. They want to get the job done. There's certain players in attack. Needs to improve. We move side to side a lot in 22 but never score. Says that Cray. And even in one of those breakaways that they had for the Highlanders, rather than running it straight, they were going on about a 45-degree angle. They're running crossfield, which just seemed to be losing them the initial break that they had. You sure we should in terms of, I did see Whailangi's name thrown in there. And also Tupotai Loa. There's a half sneeze, says Ruby, second to 6. There's the AO underdog. Did you know a Kiwi is worth 1.4 million in China? As in like the bird? Maybe? Is it the bird? That's an expensive bird. The second half of this one is just about to get underway. You let me know your in-score predictions as well, ladies and gents. I did mention about the games that are taking place for these two sides next week, but we might as well go a little bit deeper and show you the remaining games of the whole competition. So Crusaders Chiefs taking place Friday night next week, followed by Waratahs versus Brumbies. Moana Pacifica, they will be going head-to-head with the Reds, and then the Hurricanes play the Highlanders. The Force play the Fijian Drua there. From that, though, we then move on, and we go to, not that one, we go on to that one. These are the games taking place in 2 weeks' time. Crusaders versus Hurricanes, Reds versus Fiji and draw. That game, right there, Reds versus Fiji and draw, I think will determine the last spot in the top 6. Depending on what happens for the Reds in their next contest, of course. But if the Fiji and draw get themselves a victory in their game up against the Waratahs, there is a chance that game could be very important for who gets that final spot. The Brumbies will play Moana Pacifica. That will be the last ever opponent for Moana Pacifica, or at least it looks that way, of their Super Rugby careers. Chiefs versus Blues, and then Force versus Waratahs, the one after that. That could also be a determiner if the Waratahs get themselves the win over the draw and the Force can beat the Reds this weekend. And we have got there, Fakatava is part of the problem. Hawke's Bay player, they party a bit too much, says Zach Cray. Well, they got the winning spoon last year. I'm sure they don't want it again. Moana Pacifica probably give the spoon sewn up. They do, yeah. They can't really move away from their Moana Pacifica. As a Canes fan, I'm officially recognising the ladder as the final truth. The playoffs are just bonus content for teams that peaked at the wrong time, says Mark. It's a different way of looking at it, but I guess it's the mini victories, isn't it? I was just saying, or it's just good seeing some Sony back last week. Second half underweight. Yeah, Jasmine, so both sides just making their way out of the tunnel now. Tangi Tau, Jonah Lowe, Kieran Tomai Falau, Liam Coons Fabling. The wingers have not scored yet. The backs have not scored yet. In this match, we do see Tane Robinson. He is on the field for Cam Miller. That's an early change. You'd assume injury related in this case, unless they're just changing up the tactics, trying to find a way of breaking down this Chiefs defence, which they did struggle to do in the first half. Vakatava didn't part of your match, it's just a face. Zander for the Chiefs. In terms of their starting lineup, it seems like it's almost unchanged with the exception of Dyer coming into their starting front row for the second 40 minutes. If you've been watching the Under-20 box and the madness, it was about to Rugby World. We did cover a majority of that Under-20 Rugby Championship on the channel. There's also very good news about Ethan James only being out for, 5 to 6 weeks. That could have been a season ender for that man. Now, ready to kick it off here for the Highlanders, getting back underway in this contest, nicely taken by Kyle Brown. Chiefs are in control. They need one more try to get themselves a bonus point, which would then put them on the same points as the Hurricanes heading into tomorrow when the Canes go head-to-head with the Blues at Eden Park. Low kick from Josh Jacob. One finds the sideline, the Under-20 box, and the All Blacks drew. And the tank says Ruby in there as well. Yeah, it's definitely an intriguing Under-20s comp now. And Rectum says our underdog. Now going away to the left-hand side. Lucas Casey thought about the inside pass. Does decide against it in the end. Teniwelu Talia plays halfback. Now kicking this one downfield. Any thoughts on the drug bans this week? I was gutted. Isn't it rough that it's the drug bans? The fact that we've had more than one in just this last little week. I'm hoping that it's going to be the last of them that we see. But yeah, Shirakadze, he's now out for, 6 years or something like that. For that man, you've got Azanati Klabakanye now out for 18 months. So it's going to be some big gaps felt in terms of the international sides. Now Jonah Lowe running this one for James. That's not his name. It was Josh Jacob. Is there even a James in this game? I'm looking through. I'm not seeing one. No, there's no James. I was just looking at the back lines. But now, Tokiaho tackled. No, making the tackle. Timothy Tava Nawai. Tackled by Lalakai Faketi. Kicking is the only way forward, says Zander. Now kicked him behind. And that one goes into touch. South African banned for 18 months. Not surprised. It wasn't just the South African, though. We also saw a few Georgians. They actually picked up on a few Georgians not too long ago as well, didn't they? So, obviously, on the different stuff in Georgia. And getting a try, Simon Parker. Now that one's going to be nicely taken over the top. And also we have got there Shane Van Gisbergen is the man. Now rolling this one back, Xavier Rowe. Navanini thought about going for a charge down. Got himself offside. Nick Berry told him to get out of it straight away. That one's going to be booted into touch Highlanders now have themselves another line out. They are inside of the Chiefs half, and this is where they really need to stay up until they score. 3-on-2, and they kicked it, says Studs Rays. Yeah. George also not surprising with a sudden massive improvement. But small player base. Yeah, like, to be fair, like, you look at some of those Georgian blokes, particularly you got to look at the ones who haven't tested positive, but they look like they're about 10 years older than they are. I remember watching the under-20s last year, and you see the guys with full-on beards who look like, you know, they've just finished, I don't know, like a 30-year life, and they're just deciding to join rugby now rather than being under the age of 20. Like they've got 5 kids and they're moving into their 3rd property. Now, nice take there from Liam Coombs-Fabling. Had a lot of pressure on him in the breakdown, and it looks like they've almost managed to turn that one over there, the Highlanders. Adam Lennox all over that ball. He's told to release it. Everyone says stop kicking it until Cheslin Colby is on the field, says Ruby. And a halftime message should have been stop kicking. But Jamie Joseph isn't capable of giving that message. Well, the fact that he put Robinson on makes me think that there was some sort of new tactics relayed. But I don't know if the Highlanders have taken on the criticism yet. Now running down the wing, Tomoe Falau. That foot was out. And they are going to go back now for the line out. Whose ball is it? It's going to be the line out for the Highlanders. They will be sitting about 30 metres out from the try line. Any X Factor? I think that both sides have a few X Factor players in there. For the Highlanders, I think they need Jonah Lowe a little bit more involved. That man is a very underrated part of this Highlanders team. That ball's stolen at line-out time, so that doesn't help the Highlanders' chance. Big run from Wallace. Atiti look for the offload. It's gone forward, and they'll go back now for the Highlanders scrum. And the Highlanders will lose, says Kian. On a positive note, the Highlanders line out appears to be working much better recently. I hope that was written before that last line out, wasn't it, Jason? You just got very unlucky with the timing of that one. But the frustrating line out there for the Landers. And not a good player, black jersey player. Oh, so you're talking about like for the All Blacks side of things. I mean, you've got a few All Blacks already out there. Do you want a guy who's in the All Blacks or a guy who's not in the All Blacks who's trying to get in the All Blacks in terms of your X Factor guy? Now line out here. Oh, sorry, scrum feed, I should say. JJ built his game in 2015 after a great kicking with Ben Smith and Stopawanga. A kicking is part of his DNA. Once gone down again. We've got time off now. 46 minutes through this match. 14 points still the difference between these two sides. And yeah, but not many Colby pocket rockets are there at that caliber. Just looking through at how the Chiefs are set up here. Well, they're defending. I think they're expecting the Highlanders not to go off the back of the scrum. I think they're expecting them to try and shift the back line and get it out towards the wingers. Jacobson still playing, says Kian. You're saying an 20-year-old with potential, an old player with experience? No, I don't know what you're saying there. Are you saying? No, I was saying how the Georgian young players looked old. But nice narrative. I mean, it's definitely something different to what I was saying. But now, running this one across field, Kieran Tomoe Falau goes back to Liam Coombs-Fabling. Just boots it downfield. The Chiefs have probably been a little bit guilty of kicking the ball away a fair amount throughout this contest as well. That one's gone up, and a nice take from Josh Jacob. Mothi Tava Nawai running into the breakdown. Doesn't get the steal. And many could be contestable box kicks from Aaron Smith. Trying to get the steal there was Jack Taylor. Xavier Rowe looking off to the left-hand side. Simon Parker. Now Rowe. Oh, looks like a bit of an injury here for Norris. Something to do with his leg. Looks like he's going to try and continue, but he did look like he was in a bit of discomfort. And again, Rowe's going to go for the box kick. O'Dyer's short up the Chiefs scrum. That one's going to be kicked downfield and bounces into touch from Xavier Rowe. But yeah, it seems like, once again, similar to... This is slightly reminding me of that Crusaders Hurricanes game from, was it 2 weeks ago? Where we saw both sides actually play tactics that probably weren't their best choice. But, yeah, I don't know. The Highlanders have become a little bit too kicking orientated. The Chiefs are falling into that same trap of just playing territory as well. I'm a king of twisting a narrative, says Ander. Well, I had to read your one a couple of times to work out what you were actually saying, because I was quite confused. Now going off to the left-hand side, Timothy Tava Nawai moves it on to Teniwelu Talia, Ratamaita Vuki Netkins cross to Jonah Lowe. Tackle 40 metres out from his line. And yes, says Kian. And there too, offload attempted by Tane Robinson. Ball's gone backwards. Pick up from Lucas Casey, who's pumping the legs. And again, making some good metres for his side. Probably been one of the most consistent in this game in terms of making metres when touching the ball. Now kick downfield from Timofi Tava Nawai. That is a new one. Although it was close to a 50-22, I guess. It ends in with Liam Coombs-Fabling kicking it into touch. It's a good territory game for the Highlanders. You're very annoying and very unstable with your comments. Jeez, you haven't held back, have you, Jason? We have got there. I'm a Chiefs fan, says Kian. And go kick jump, says Jordan. And go Josh Jacobs, says Tyrone. And there as well. Line out throw. Almost getting up for it was Naito Akoi, but Vavini Lasanga plays it at the back of the line out. On off to Tomofe Tava Nawai. The Chiefs have done well isolating him, but trying to steal it in the breakdown was Jacobson. I'm here for the unstable comments. Says Duds Race. We're now 31 minutes left. The Highlanders. Yep, they're kicking for the corner here. I was hoping that was going to be the case rather than going for a three-pointer. Would still put them down by a decent margin. See it there on the breakdown. Jacobson managed to get the steal, but just didn't see that his teammate was still in there. Hello, says Ronnie. Welcome in, Ronnie. Hope you are doing well. On out throw here for Jack Taylor. Nicely taken by Dunshay. Rolling ball. Casey breaks off, but he's just going to be held up. Some great defence from the Chiefs, although Nick Berry wants to have another look at this. Gonna have a look upstairs. See if the try can be awarded. Okay, at this stage, no try is Nick Berry's comment. I was just waiting to hear what the on-field decision was. It's actually quite impressive, the gap that was created for the Highlanders. He just went straight through Lucas Casey and then just got held up. It was Satiti who got in there. As well as Liam Coombs-Fabling. And yeah, I don't think there's going to be a grounding there. And flying wedge. Is that why there was such a big gap? Over there, the Kaiser Chiefs says Ruby. And Nick Berry a clown, says Kian. Okay, they're saying that the Chiefs may have sacked the front man. Yeah, so they're saying whether or not Simon Parker dragged him down. The ball's being transferred. Okay, TMO and referee are both happy with it. Not happy with the try being scored. I think that's going to be disallowed. That was held up. Right. No try. And it is going to be a goal line dropout here for the Chiefs. Uncontested, says the Gaio underdog. And 28-14 for the Chiefs. What was my original score prediction? I went I went 26-12 or 36-22 if we were going a little bit higher scoring. 26-12 could be not a mile away, although it seems like, oh no, another knock on. This time from Tane Robinson. He got a pass that was round his bootlaces. Wasn't able to take it cleanly, so it will now be the Chiefs who have got themselves the scrum feed. The mistake coming for the Highlanders. It's these little frustrating moments that they've had all throughout the season. When they finally almost score, they have another opportunity to try and back it up, and then it just goes down. I hope you're adding turmeric and black pepper to your water. Is that to start sneezing more? Or flying wedge is illegal now, says Studs Race. I am convinced that there are that many line-out laws and whatnot that they just ignore some of them sometimes, just because it's easier than having to watch for everything. Running away, says our underdog, and also Chiefs need a big win here. Says Bro Pleber, looks like Hutchinson. He's made his way onto the field for Josh Jacobs. So Hutchinson will go to fullback. McKenzie will go to 10. And Hutchinson, to make his way off the bench, he's only had a couple games, but he is an impact player for this Chiefs side. The fact that they haven't got Leroy Carter, they haven't got Daniel Rona, they haven't got Amoni Narawa, Atinoi Nana Suturo, and you can bring in a guy like Isaac Hutchinson, and he plays the way that he has. Okay, so he is their forward day in, day out. Says Hartley. He's brought quite the impact to this game, Lucas Casey. Even though his team is down by 14 points, he's probably up there for man of the match candidates at this point in time. Now Xavier Rowe. Ball is out the back of the scrum. They are going to go short side. Passed out to Liam Coombs-Fabling, who tries to cut back in another low tackle made by Adam Lennox. Looking for the steal. Now Taukiaho. He's already scored in this contest already. I'm back into the pocket. McKenzie goes with the high boot. Chasing after this one and going up for it. It's going to be slapped back for Luke Jacobson. How many more minutes? They have still got 28 minutes remaining in this contest. Tane Robinson was at Kesh's birthday party, says Jason. Tangitau had the ball maybe once that I can... once or twice. One of the two, he chipped it into touch, and then I don't think they've gone out to him ever since. No, I can't think of many Tangitau clean carries throughout this game, to be honest. They haven't got it out to his wing. Now going away to the left-hand side. Jonah Lowe's the same. I think he's had the ball once. So many laws broken at almost every line out. It's actually worth burning the law book and just letting the ref feel who deserves it. I feel like that's the case with a lot of the rugby laws, though, isn't it? How, if the refs were allowed to just decide that's a good run from Xavier Rowe through the gap and scores the bonus point try for the Chiefs. Just for now, of course, if the Highlanders score another one, that will take it away. But Xavier Rowe saw the gap, managed to run straight through it. There's another 30 points for the Chiefs. And also, that 9 didn't want to chip over. You see it here, the gap. Ethan the group playing half. And then from there, just getting lured a little bit wider there, Jack Taylor. I think it was the movement behind the ruck from the Chiefs. It made it set up as if they were going to Damian McKenzie. And yeah, you can see the frustration on Taylor's face. He knows that was the wrong choice to run it wide. Or for him to run wide. And have Rowe run on his inside to score the try. Defensive misread from the Landers leads to 7. 28-7 now in favour of the Chiefs. And can do a James Dolman and call uncontested throws not straight for the funsies, says Cray. We have there, if we kick the ball again, I'm leaving. We have there, same surname, same Auckland Blues rugby orbit. But doesn't seem to be anything. It says Taniwelu Talia and Mark Talia are related. Is that simply coincidence? Yeah. So they're unrelated. Talia's name actually, I believe, for Mark Talia doesn't have the apostrophe. I don't think. So two different families. I'll just quickly check that. Oh no, he does it. He does have it. Never mind. But yeah, I don't think they're related. I think it's just the same last name. Simon Barker get a try, says Kian. And also call it a pick and go, says the underdog. Now line out throw here. Oh, that one wasn't That's straight. It was almost knocked on by Lennox, but he has done well. You able to grab it? Highlanders now down by 21. That's how many bot players needed in that Highlanders squad, says Ruby. And off the deck says the AI underdog. Now kick downfield from Lennox once more. And a knock on from Kieran Tomoi Falau. All rolls into touch, so they will go back for the option of line out or scrum. Oh no, they only get the option of the scrum. And we have there Graham Henry just a selected. What do you think? Says Ronnie. It'll be interesting to see what kind of role he does play. Because I know there's a lot of rumours and a lot of, I guess, speculation about what type of role he will play. But definitely having a guy like that in the environment is not a bad thing, I would say. We have there, damn, 21 and 55 minutes. And also, Lol Jordan, says Ruby there. 24 minutes now remain. I'm happy that the Chiefs got 28. Yeah, although they want to keep on powering forward. I want to make sure that they get themselves that bonus point well and truly. And another penalty awarded to the Highlanders. They've decided to take the quick tap. And Adam Lennox close to the line, close to the touchline too. About 5 metres out from the line, but Vinny Lasanga going to be held up by Wallace Atiti, trying to turn it into a rolling maul, but he's told to release. Now Lennox back across for the Landers. Ethan DeGroot. It's a bit close. If they get this out to Jonah Lowe, I think they score here, the Highlanders. They just need to give him the ball. Looks like back line. Are they going to get it out there? Nice quick hands from Robinson to Mothi. Tava Nawai. Moving it on. A couple more passes. Rata Moitavuki Nepkins. He was never going to pass that, and he's probably been driven in to touch the greedy bugger. But has he got the try, Jacob Rata Moitavuki Nepkins? I tell you what, he's got to have scored this because there was a pass on for all money that he should have used there that he decided against. We have got there two Aussies there, and they bring Steve Hansen in. He got the rugby brain, and try. Says the AO underdog, and I need the Chiefs to win by 25 to make a statement towards the Canes. Right, they're going to be checking this one closely. Does he get the finish in the corner? Rata Moitavuki Nepkins, tell you what, he might have had the pace. Just about. There needs to be a grounding very soon. He almost... Yeah, that looks like it should be grass. Surely he's got that down. Yes, he does. And they will now award the try to the Highlanders. Needed to spread the ball. Says Studs Rays and also Hamish. How are you? I've been listening to you. I'm leaving the chat. Also, I just don't like what they are saying in here. Says Kevin. Okay, well, hopefully we see you at some stage in the future, Kevin. We have got the trial day, says Studs Rays. Now that one's going to be missing away to the right-hand side. And that one is going to keep the score at 28 points to the 12. Yeah, moving it on quite nicely. Timothy Tavatavanawai. And that was a good offload from Tangi Tau. And from there, Rata Moitavuki Nepkins. He was always going to be going himself. And yeah, just about went into touch. Okay, come on, get a try, Simon Barker, says Tyrone. Right, Summer Penny Fee now. He's going to be making his way onto the field now. Second. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. Are we over there? Tangitau to centre. Now Lennox from inside of the 22. That one's going to be slapped back. It looked like Casey wasn't front, but he has managed to claim that ball for the Highlanders. And now Lennox goes for another box kick. I was just saying, says the AO underdog. That one's going to be put into touch. And Chiefs 20 Plus been saying it all night. Says the real Ando. And currently they do lead by the 16 points. Isaac Hutchinson. They're just asking about that loose forward of the Chiefs. Feel like we need to bring some good skilled older leaders. The team has a lot of youth, but no old heads who's got the experience. Says Cray. Now moving it across. Tenuelu Talia tries to go to Jonah Lowe, who has to grab the ball from the ground. Now Lennox. And up the mighty Landers is Beast Kiwi. This game's still close enough. 20 minutes remaining. That is more than enough time to be able to get something going in the final moments. Yeah, go the Chiefs. Says Tyrone. Now Lennox, again, will go for that box kick close to the sideline. Kieran Tomai Falau takes it now. Hutchinson trying to step around Tangi Tau. Back to Kieran Tomai Falau. Coombs Fabling. Cross to McKenzie. Oh, bit of a slip there from not just the attacker, but the defender too. They've just got up to their feet like nothing happened. And clearance is go underdog. The ball might almost end up on the side of the Highlanders here. Yes, it has. Managed to get themselves the counter ruck. Now Lucas Casey trying to drive through Parker, and he's almost got through him as well. Yes, he has. The Highlanders, they're starting to feel it a little bit more near the end of this game. Timothy Tavanawai puts a hand in the face of Satiti and pushes him away. Now ball's been left on the inside. Tangi Tau, 22 metres out for the line. The Chiefs almost a little bit of a urgency in the way that they're trying to get this ball back in the breakdown. And we have you there, Chiefs, says Murray. Now, kicked him behind here. Casey's strong. Tell you what, it's going to be put dead by Liam Coombs Fabling, so it will be the goal line dropout. Casey Strong sees starts race. He just starts pumping the legs, doesn't he? And he just doesn't stop. We believe in you, Simon Barker, and Chiefs pack of cheats, says Beast Kiwi. So who in particular do you think has been cheating in this game out of the Chiefs players? Beast? And we have you there. There was a dumb kick, says another boy. Yeah, it's a pretty optimistic one, wasn't it? On the side. I think I'm going to go like this. I'll go like that as well. Nicely taken. Now going away to the left-hand side for Casey. 19 minutes still remaining. 26 or 28 points to 12. Drug test a lot of them, says Beast. Wait, so you're saying they're cheats for like substances rather than what's happening in the game? You go cheats from Amish in the Philippines. Now away to the right. Grubber attempted again from Timothy Tavatavanawa. He's gotten slightly lucky there because the ball is deflected off someone's leg and then deflected off another man's leg and went forward in the end. Could have easily been the charge down and a counter-attacking chance for the Chiefs yet again. Jacob Ratamatavuki Nepkins go on the outside to Jonah Lowe. Tackled a bit high from Kyle Brown. They have got themselves the penalty advantage now, and the penalty is awarded. Lennox takes the quick tap again. It's like that's the tactic that the Highlanders are going to go with each and every time. Howdy, Amish, says Johnny. Welcome in. Currently the Chiefs up by the 16 points. They haven't got the bonus point just for now, but if they score again, they would. If the Highlanders get themselves 2 tries here, it will work back into the bonus point contention. The guy was offside, says Jordan. Also, we get the Hamish the Chiefs will win, says Kian. Now wide cut out pass to Timothy Tavanawai. Great low tackle from Isaac Hutchison right round the bootlaces. Bit of a counter ruck now from the Chiefs, but they don't get the ball. Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, short ball to Seolamau. I like the referee who's actually played the game at a decent level. Doesn't make them perfect, but at least they know what it feels like when the breakdown turns into a tumble drive full of knees. How many more minutes? Still another 17 minutes remaining here. Now wait to the left-hand side. Now Ma'u picking it up again. Oh, it's a big clean out of the group. And bonus points come on the Chiefs. Says Moa. Now Vaveni Lasanga. Can go here again. Oh, that's a drop ball. It's gone backwards. About 13 phases in, and that's another knock on this time from the Highlanders. The Chiefs will get themselves the scrum. And bonus points come on the Chiefs. Says Moa Hunters. And Milk. Says yeah, underdog. Is that for the high shot? You're saying it was milked, or More changes being made. Brodie McAllister, Bennett Kumiroa, both going to be making their way onto the field now. There's Ratama. And Chiefs will win, says Murray. And Spread It H, says the AI. And Chiefs' defence is bloody good. Yeah, they don't give you a lot of chances, which is why you have to make the most of them when they come around. And I don't think the Highlanders have done that enough this game yet. Are we beginning to know what the Highlanders practice during the week? Says Freshman. There's obviously a lot of tactical kicking involved. What they do, never count out the Highlanders. Says Ronnie. We see there Dave Rennie, he is watching this game. Tell you what, if you're ever going to pick a game to do it, you'd probably have to say that Lucas Casey, out of everyone out there on the field today, he's probably put his name in the hat the best towards Dave Rennie. You say that Arkoi's had a solid game. Satiti's been good. Lennox stepping up. We over there, Graham Henry has joined the ABs as a selector. That's crazy. Says Johnny Blaze. But that's also intriguing, isn't it? Because will he go with players the same as what Rennie would have? Or will there be a few guys that people go, why have they gone with him? But maybe he's a guy that Graham Henry's gone, look, you need this guy in your team. You need him in the environment. Oh, okay, time is off at the moment. It is just for subs, I believe. I want to know who this attack coach is. Low Solid Scotland. Says the AI underdog. Now McAllister, he will make his way onto the field. That is for Taukiaho, and also Ratama makes his way on for Rowe. I'm happy now Chiefs winning, says Tyrone. Oh no, Jacobson's coming back on. Who's that for? That looks like he's coming on for Fiti Sar. Fiti Sar only just made his way on there. But he's getting taken off for an HIA here. Graham Henry will have old man wisdom, says Johnny Blaze. Chiefs have a lot of players. This is the best chance the Landers have. They just didn't have the right tactics. I think New Zealand Rugby is rebooting, and that is scary, says Ruby. Graham Henry will be the boss. Now Ratama. This will be from inside of their own 22 here, the Chiefs. So this is not an easy position, and that's gone straight down. Haven't had too many scrums that have been straight in, straight out throughout this game so far. Yeah, the attack coach from Scotland. Don't even know who Bro is, but excited for what he can do. Sounds like he's a Scottish 100 cap legend. Says Johnny Blaze. Ratama. As well as Fakatava, the two halfbacks who are making their way off. Or making their way on, late. You're only the FIFA World Cup or Women's T20 World Cup next month. Not sure yet. I haven't fully decided. I don't actually know if the FIFA World Cup's being shown on Sky here. I think you have to buy a separate TVNZ pass to watch it. So, I may not end up doing the matches that we first thought. T20 World Cup, not sure either. It will depend on what overlaps. Oh, big drop ball there. Just outside of the 5 metre line. But the Chiefs, it was by Kyle Brown. This is a really good position now for the Highlanders. Try and get themselves one more for the 70-minute mark. Fatisar guy is 2 metres and 4, 128 kgs. Bro has the physique to go far. Does not in travel with the AB, says he. No, he's normally busy. He's still playing for, I think it's Toulon at the moment, isn't he? He's played with a lot of different clubs around the world. And good thing he's a selector. His front game needs coaches. Best AB's era, the non-coaching fourth selector. Earl Curtin, Brian Lockor, Grant Fox seem to work really well. I think I mispronounced at least two of those names, didn't I? I got Grant Fox right. And Al Bugger playing to watch. Paying to watch players fake injuries. Who's the one who faked the injury? So if it's Fitisar, I think it was a mouthguard one that went off, so that's just World Rugby regulations. And come on, Josh Jacobs, says Tyrone. Now going away to the left-hand side for Lau Fakatava. Moving on. Oh, that's weird. I think Jacob Ratamatafuki-Netkins just ran flying through, but he may have taken out a Chiefs player in the process and didn't have the ball. Seems like it's all been cleared. Ollie Haig off the bench. We also do see Falau Fakatava now made his way on. Way to the right-hand side. It seems like it's a straight 9 swap today. Sometimes we have seen them leave Lennox out there on the wing. And now out to Jonah low in the wide channel. Good low by Damien McKenzie. He's had a quiet old day at the office, McKenzie. He's done a few important kicks. Haven't seen him a lot on the attacking side of things. We have you there. Do you know who Sir Brian, or do you not know Sir Brian Lockor? Our World Cup winning coach? I'll be honest, no. I don't. They're now very close to the dead ball line. Damien McKenzie puts that ball into touch. Ashvale, you need some new moderators who actually know what they are actually here to do, says Jason. Although the original moderators, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, if they were doing their job, you probably would have been banned a while ago. You went through a bit of a patch where you said a lot of offensive stuff, and we decided because you had been normal up till that stage, we'd keep you around. But if they were doing, banning anyone who said something bad, then we wouldn't have seen you for, the past year. The only guy missing is Wayne Smith, says bad to the bone. And now about 40 metres out from the line, Falau Fakatava away to the right. Chance here for Tenuelu Talia. This is where they do still need another try here for the Highlanders. Pick and go from Lucas Casey. He's been the most dangerous out there on the field for the Highlanders, but straight on the ball. McKenzie's asleep. He does not look in a good way at the moment. He looks like he is in a lot of discomfort. He's face down on the ground, McKenzie. I don't know if he's knocked out or whether he's got some sort of injury to his arm here. But this does not look good for Damien McKenzie. A future All Black Josh Jacob says aging trucker. And I know says Vic Mars. What happens to McKenzie here? I think he might eat the boot of Casey, does he? Oh, he does. Yeah, gets kicked in the head. And he was knocked out, McKenzie. He's not going to be playing next week for the Chiefs. He might not be playing the week after either. And that looked bad. Yeah, because for a start, he was down face down on the turf. And it seemed like maybe it was like the arm or something. How it might have been that he didn't want to move a shoulder or something like that. But no, he was just knocked out. Which is why he was not getting back to his feet. They took a little while to realise too. I think they were thinking along the same lines of, he's hurt his shoulder or he's hurt something in the process. Rare card. No, there won't be any sort of card. He just got kicked in the head while he was making a tackle. It was just an unfortunate one. It's the leg strength of Lucas Casey who just keeps on driving when you think you've got his legs tied up. We have you there, I think. That is better outcome long term. I thought it would be an arm or a leg, says Freshman. And also, I know my Damien's, he's a top man, said Moa Hunters. Lucas Casey, he just wants to keep on running all day. At this point in time, he will just keep on going until someone gets both of the legs. Unfortunately for McKenzie, he was tackling the near side and the far side came up and got him there. And Highlanders yellow card, says Kian. And mind you, D-Mac's a tough bro. Is brave in the area. A great deflection tactic. You will make a great politician in the future, I'm sure. I'm just making a statement that makes sense in that scenario. That's the replay of the first Casey try. Idea says Kian. But yeah, we can't be selective. So if we're going to start timing out certain people, we've got to time out everyone in terms of the ones who do say the rough stuff. I just handle it, Jordan. If you want to chat 1,000 miles an hour, I got a mouth, my Jordan. Our dear, don't cry, says Shane. Idea says Kian. Yeah, that was very close. Initially for the Chiefs scoring that try, and then they just fell over the line with Samasoni Tolkiaho. William Rollison? No, not yet. Still a little way away. We have got their rear card and rough him up, H. Says the AI. Tamothi Tavanawai. It was the start of the back line for the Highlanders. They have just got this bit of a stoppage here while Damien McKenzie does get attended to. The field is a good space. Says the AI. Oh, it's not just Dave Rennie either. He's got a couple of other coaches with him. By the looks of it, Josh Jacobs get a try. Josh Jacobs not on the field anymore. So that will be quite tricky. As he made his way off earlier on for Isaac Hutchison. They then moved McKenzie into more of a 10 role. Although, actually, to be fair, if McKenzie's going off with a head knock, they might be able to bring Jacob back out. And that might actually be the choice that they go with. And no, Nonu was playing for Toulon. Yeah, he's still going. He's been in France. He's been in America. He's been, I mean, of course, he's been in New Zealand. He just seems to go everywhere. But 11 and a half minutes left. There is a round of applause for McKenzie, who is back up to his feet. He's also bleeding out of his mouth or his cheek by the looks of it, McKenzie. This could actually be a broken jaw as well by the looks of that. But hopefully that is the thinking, the worst of it. DMAC can be a speed bump. Down 10, John just brings, or depends which DMAC turns up. Says Shane. Sadly, we will not see a DMAC turn up next week, because if that's a concussion, he's probably out for this next game and maybe even the game after, depending on the extent. This game about to get back underway. She's been a slow burner, this one. It's probably going to be about a 2-hour fixture if it continues this way. We had a few injuries, a couple TMO checks along the way. Oh, it's just a little love tap, says Beast Kiwi. Yeah, well, it was a love tap that knocked him out, so they'd be pretty solid, I would think. We have there, broken jaw is really painful, says Fleshin. Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal for McKenzie, and it would actually take him out for a while. Just about a scratch, says Craig. And also, we have there, Damien is playing well, consistent performer, says such a one. Probably trying to milk a yellow. No, he was making the tackle. Like, he was tackling a man with the ball around the bootlaces and got kicked in the head. So I don't think you're going to win any sort of yellow card for the other team from tackling a man around the bootlaces. But, nice offload from Tangi Tau. Way to Jonah Lowe now. Sitting about 11 minutes left in this fixture. The Highlanders, they need to score soon. So they'll probably be out of the equation. Oh, Blues got next week, says the underdog. Blues next week, they are going to be playing up against not the Chiefs, is it? They're playing the Highlanders next week. So that's the last game for the Landers of their season too. If they lose this one and the Reds win their game tomorrow night up against the Force, our top 6 is almost confirmed. But also at the same time, the Highlanders would not be a part of it. As they would be 1-0, that's a knee to the head. And that's going to be the penalty awarded to the Highlanders for getting taken out in the air. Now Fakatava decides to go with the same tactic as Lennox was. Now going away, the right-hand side, moving it on nicely. A wide cut-out pass from Jonah Lowe. Now Lowe, back across the Withy. Easier ways to milk a card than tackling with your face. Exactly right. You're normally tackling with your face results in you getting carded, isn't it? As a young Argentinian, I love it. Coming off the edge. I mean, he did make his way off of the naughty chair earlier on. He got himself a yellow card at old Thomas Lavanini. It did lead to 2 tries for the Chiefs during that period. I think it had a nightmare that the Springboks didn't do well against New Zealand. Says Gold Story, that's a good kick in behind from the Chiefs, and that is a 50-22. Going in their favour. They will be 15 metres out from the line now. Fakatava isn't very smart, bro. Always makes silly decisions on the field. Would a bonus point help their odds? It would help them a little bit. If they were within 7 in this game, that would. But then they still need to rely on the Reds losing, or else they just won't have time to catch up. And we have got there, damn it, was 2-2. Wait, it was 2-2. An outstanding 50-22. Now 8.5 minutes remaining. This one's going to be thrown in by Brodie McAllister, and that's nicely taken on the outside from Tupavai. And come on, the Chief, says Aging Trucker. Yeah, 8 minutes to try and get something going here towards their bonus point as well. If they get one more try, they're back in the back in the 5-point category. Rolling maul advantage now for the Chiefs. Ollie Haig trying to slow it down, but it continues to march. He's dragged that down pretty illegally, and I don't think he's even been able to stop it. It is going to be Luke Jacobson by the looks of it, or is it McAllister? It's Brodie McAllister who pops up with the try. We have there some of us living in Pommyland after work. Thanks for the awesome commentary. I'll listen to the rest in the car, says Mark. We have got a few games slightly nicer on the schedule, which are taking place tonight or tomorrow morning for us here in New Zealand. All Blacks bringing Graham Henry back is good. It'll be the reason if New Zealand knocks South Africa in the quarterfinal next year, says Demon the 11th. They're just showing that rolling maul move there. Very nicely done. And it just seems like they're struggling to get anything fully going. Now, Josh Jacob. And I should say the Highlanders are struggling to get anything going. The Chiefs are doing all right in that department. They have now got themselves 35 points to the 12. Let's go. The Chiefs, easy win. And All Blacks bringing Graham Henry back. Oh, that's for the quarterfinal. And how many more minutes? Still another 7 minutes remaining. This one's going to be kicked off short. Nice take there from Fitisar. He's made his way back out onto the field after the HIA. 2027 Rugby World Cup will be like 2003 World Cup, and Jacob is the man. Will be in the near future. Well, this game only 10 or 180p. Sky Now website is so bad. What a waste of money. Wait, 180 or 1080? If it's 180, that's pretty brutal. See you in the finals for the rematch, says Beast Kiwi. Wait, a rematch between these two sides? If the Highlanders lose this game, they are probably out of contention. Unfortunately. Now 6 minutes left. Rolling this one back again for Lau Whakatava. One is kicked downfield. Nicely taken round the halfway line by Caleb Tangitau. Tackled by Caleb Tangitau. Ratima going off to the left-hand side. Liam Coons fabling. Wallace Atiti can't quite get through. Now Ratima. Oh, that was an accident. Vavini Lasunga was in the wrong back line there. It was a nice catch, but he was just going the wrong way. He's saying there to the referee he couldn't have gone anywhere, but he could have potentially not caught it so cleanly. Now again, the Chiefs looking towards that sideline. This one's going to be about 20 metres out. It's clever from Jacob, says Nutter Boy. Well, to be fair, Vavini Lasunga was in a good spot to continue that backline. But sadly, it wasn't his team on attack. For Highlanders, they didn't play with the belief. Needed to lift the silverware, says Ander. Like I've said, that rolling maul try that they just scored here. So I'm in a very good position. Joseph needs to change his tactics, says Hartley. And number 22, Rian Paul. My 13-year-old has been doing some rugby training sessions with him. Bro's a nice guy. Yeah, late inclusion in this game after Daniel Rona was left out or was switched out. Oh, nice steal at line-out time from Ollie Haig. Now Tangitau wide, cut our pass over the top. Tanuelu Talia to low. Has got Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins with him, doesn't. That next pass going. I was there at the catering. 2015 when we lifted the silverware, says Beast Kiwi. That one's going to be kicked across field. Has gone into touch on the full from Timothy Tavanawai. I have got there, but Rion Paul's uncle is TJ Perenaro, which makes me really not like him. That's a really stupid reason to not like him. So I feel like, he doesn't get to pick who his uncle is, does he? Where do you think the Highlanders went wrong? I think they just, once again, big occasion game. They started well, but as soon as that yellow card happened, the wheels fell off. And, if they can get out of this game cancelling out a Chiefs bonus point, they probably would have done well as a whole. But realistically, seems like the Chiefs still have one more in them. Now, looks like a nice steal there in the breakdown from the Highlanders. Jonah Lowe Goes across there, moving it on over the top to Caleb Tangitau. Cuts back inwards. We haven't really seen a chance to see that man just run the ball throughout this contest as of yet. That's a big drop ball. Kieran Tomoe-Falau picked it up, but he's knocked it on too. And we have got the, are you saying South Africa will be out in the quarterfinal and England will win the World Cup? Says, cool story. Exhausted being a Highlanders fan and yellow card every week for us. Says Beast Kiwi. Mackenzie is okay. Chiefs the best. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty nasty knock. He did have the blood coming out of the mouth, so yeah, like best case scenario for Mackenzie is probably a concussion. Worst case scenario is something along the lines of a broken jaw, in which case he'd be missing for a good few months. So there'll be a few Chiefs fans and a few All Blacks supporters who are currently having their fingers crossed, hoping that it is the best case scenario for Damian Mackenzie. You're talking about player of the match. I think Lucas Casey gets it, even though his side are down by 21 points at the moment. He's been absolutely everywhere for the Highlanders. Now for Fakatava. That one's gone down. Front rows and the penalty awarded to the Highlanders. They decide to take the quick tap and it's Lucas Casey again to Mofe Tava Nawai. On the way to the left-hand side. Now moving forward. Dragging down Lucas Casey. He's made meters every day of the week though. Jacob Rata, Maita, Vuki, Nepkins. Wherever they Simon Parker get a try. Says Kian. Back across. Falau Fakatava goes to Tane Robinson. Moving on again. The Mofi Tava Nawai. Cross to... It's Will Stoddart. He's the late minute replacement for the Highlanders due to TK Howden being ruled out. Too cold to watch the games at Waikato Stadium. Enjoy being warm next to the fire at home. Says Johnny Blaze, but now running out wide. Jakarata Maitavuki Nepkins pops it on the inside to Jonah Lowe. 40 metres out now. And another advantage going the way of the Highlanders. They can still cancel out this bonus point of the Chiefs. Liam Coons Fabling is surprised that he was penalised there, but not rolling away. It might have actually been Jacobson. Got penalised for that one. France don't win the next World Cup, then Australia will win it. Or South Africa says Demon the 11th. That one is put into touch for the Highlanders. Don't forget Mackenzie from the deep South Landers country. Says Beast. 30 seconds. Do you do the Warriors? We haven't actually done any Warriors games as of yet, only because they're going good. Normally, like when I think about doing the Warriors games, they end up having a bit of a bad patch. Because we thought about doing, what was the game about the fourth one into their season? I considered doing that game and they did lose that one badly. But hopefully at some stage we'll get a couple Warriors games. And we're definitely doing the Rugby League World Cup though on the channel. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Pakatava goes to Daniel Leonard Brown. They are currently 3 metres from the line here. Pakatava moves it on to Tanuelu Talia. Offload on the outside. Tangi Tau. Low tackle from Hutchinson. Now back across again. Now waiting for this ball. Moving on to the left-hand side. Ollie Haig. That one's going to be dropped backwards. Now Tane Robinson. A bit of a slip there as well. But what's happened to Tangi Tau? He almost looked like he was half by knocked out there. But he seems to be all right. He just slipped and slided. Surely evening or Sunday evening, Wales vs Bronco might suit you. Sadly not. I've got a family dinner that I'm going to be going to. Oh, what's happened there? Jacobson's tried to kick the ball into touch and it's bounced off one of his teammates' heels and bounced back in field. And we've still got a little bit more time. The Highlanders on attack. That is something you don't see every day of the week. Looking for the clear and kick, but it hits a teammate and then stays in for a little bit longer. Now back across. They're talking about Caleb Tangitau still being down. I think he's injured here. I thought initially it was some sort of head knock, but it might actually be his leg. Something to do with the lower limb that may have given away. And meanwhile, the Highlanders are still trying to stop the Chiefs from getting a bonus point from this game. Invite your family. Well, like we're going out for tea, so I'd have to do it from like the location we're having dinner. which isn't like anyone's house. It's like a restaurant. So that might go down quite badly, I would think. Now going away to the left-hand side. Now Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins across to KC again. And the Rugby League World Cup was probably the most predictable competition ever. So who's winning it? Because I feel like Samoa are up there, but then some people would say that it's just Australia's to win. But the Samoan side is absolutely stacked from 1 to 13. On the way to the left-hand side, Vavini Lasanga moves it on to Jacob Ratamaitavuki. Nepkins goes out wide to Jonah Lowe. There's still plenty. We're 82 minutes through. Neither of these sides seem like they want the game to end, although Jacobson did. It just hit someone on his teammate. Accident offside in front of the kicker. Says Beast Kiwi. I think because it just went straight back to the Highlanders, they just said play on. Now, Ma'u. With my son's under 13 side. Only a helper, not an actual coach. A little sidekick. Says Johnny. Now moving away to the left-hand side again. At the moment, they're just moving it back and forth here, the Highlanders. Going backwards, kick it out. Yeah, they still want to take away that bonus point of the Chiefs, though. I also want to come with, says Ruby. Now moving on to the right-hand side. I don't know how many extra invitations to the dinner I'm allowed to hand out. That's close to Satiti stealing the ball. They've got themselves a penalty advantage. Jacob cut out past to Kirwan. Tomoi Falau, who offloads nicely, and Kyle Brown scores the try. This game could be separated by the 28, maybe 30. There goes D-Max. Says, oh, yeah, a couple concerning injuries here. McKenzie, Tangi Tau, just to name a couple. There was also... who went off earlier on in the game? Who I can't think of. Oh, right near the start was Broughton. He's gone as well. Australia Samoa was stacked by at the last one. What's meant by Australia? I wish they did win it though, says Question. I want to watch the Abbies versus the Stormers in Cape Town. I wish you speedy recovery, Mackenzie, says Leone. It's a nice ball to Kyle Brown in the end. Tangi Tau has finally made his way back to his feet. He's in tears here. I think Tangi Tau has done a season ender. And I think that's why all of his side have gone around him here. This was not just a little knock on the leg or anything like that. I think that man knows that his season is done. And his All Blacks chances for 2026 have just come to an end. We're going to find out next week when they do release all of the injury reports. But I think for Caleb Tangi Tau, this is going to be TBC of when that man's going to be back. And yeah, you can see that he is absolutely gutted. They're going to show the replay now for him. He tries a step. And that's a calf muscle. That's an ACL. That's something in the lower leg. Could be his Achilles. Nah, he's actually holding up a little bit higher. That's almost... And a slap on the ground straight away. He knows that his knee was purple. So I think that's the front of the knee. That lower muscle, I can't remember whether that's ACL or MCL. I think that's MCL, the front one. But yeah, that's a season ender for Tangi Tau. Unless something really, really lucky happens, that man's gone for the year. And we have got there another... AJ ball grab ending in All Blacks. His knee's purple. Yeah, although I don't know if that was already purple. Some of these boys, they put in the hard hits early. So it's like how McKenzie had blood coming from his mouth. But I think he also had a cut on his cheek originally. So, yeah, I don't know if that was from the initial contact or whether it was from something else. One try to lose by 30. Says, just poker there. I missed old Graham Henry. He talks to the media in a funny way, says Ronnie. And I was get there, damn. Says the AI underdog pick. And there as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more coming up tomorrow. 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. It will be Stormers in their contest going head-to-head up against Cardiff. Then from there, we've got Fiji and draw versus Waratahs. We've got the 7:05 game, the Blues versus Hurricanes. Then also a few games of the URC throughout the evening as well. But thank you all for watching. I will see you all for the next one.